Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm SunDej and I am your host for the Manifesting Through Music Conference. And today we have a special guest. His name is Cortez. I'm going to let him introduce himself really quickly before we get started. So thank you, Cortez, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So I am Cortez, also known as Vivid Cortez, company name Vivid Core Media, founded in 2013 with myself and my wife.
Awesome. And can you just tell us a little bit about how you got started, how you started your company and why you got into videography, and just everything that you're doing with that right now? What got you interested and what got you started?
Okay, cool. So funny story, right? My wife, she is an artist, right? She primarily do rap music, but I say artist because she's very well rounded. But maybe I'll say about 10, no, probably about 15 years ago, when I found out that she do music, um, I I tried to figure out a way to infiltrate her space, where I didn't take her away from what she loved, her passion for music and creating music and all of that. So I tried to infiltrate it. So I would look for ways that I can, like I said, infiltrate her world. And she was doing graphics, she was doing web design and all of those things. But the only thing that she wasn't doing was video. And I'm like, well, every artist need video. So let me try to figure out how I can use this one thing that she's not doing as a tool to help her with what she needs as an artist. So I picked up the camera and I just started playing with it, figuring out different settings and all of that. So that's pretty much how I got started. Fast forward maybe about 5 years from that moment, it was something that she really needed. So I invested money into a higher quality camera, different lights and stuff like that I felt like she needed to do the video that she wanted to do at that time. And excuse me. And then we shot a video. Well, that video that we shot, a few other artists seen it and they wanted me to do a video for them. And I did it just because I was passionate about it and I just wanted to share that gift. Well, one of the artists who was a really good friend of ours told me, he said, man, you need to start a business because if you don't start a business and charge people, they're going to take advantage of you. So me and my wife, we talked and we decided to take what she was doing as far as graphic design, web design, and all those other things that artists need and incorporate the video and the photo and just make a business out of it, right? We already doing it for ourselves. We might as well package it up and make it available for other artists.
I love that story. Like, I love how you all use teamwork to just make it takes a team. Like, it really does.
Definitely.
Um, so can you tell us a little bit about what artists need to know before they do their first shoot? Because I feel like um, there's not a lot of guidance or preparation as far as knowing what to do beforehand. I think some artists may come to you with a vision that they already have, but then some artists may feel like, okay, I'm about to hire a video, like videographer and show up,
So number one, when approaching the thought of even getting a video, right? I always tell people, look at the video as a commercial. Look at it as a commercial pushing people to a product. What's your product, right? Your product is your music or your poetry if you are a spoken word artist or whatever. So that's your product. Now look at the video as a commercial, pointing people to that product, because that's what you're selling. You selling your music, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing that I always tell people is make sure you're able to provide an audio file, whether it's MP3 or a WAV file, is WAV. So either one of those would be really good, because as a videographer, I really can't do anything for you without an audio file. I'm sorry. So those are the first two things. The third thing that I always tell people, is you should have a budget in mind, right? And it don't have to be a big budget, right? You don't have to go into it thinking, oh man, I need $100,000, $10,000, $5,000 even. You just have to have some budget in your mind, right? Even if it's all I can afford this go round is $300, right? Well, now you can, when you go and find a videographer, you can tell them, well, I have this budget. Is there anything we can do within that price point? That way, that'll give the videographer, you know, a idea of what they can work within your budget. Lots of times, most videographers, they care less about the money, as opposed to the dedication to the project, right? And if you come and you say, I have a budget, I want to do this, then they may be able to work certain things out in your favor, right? With that, so B clause to number 3 is being a little flexible with that budget. So if you say I got a $300 budget, try to squeeze in a couple extra $100 just in case the videographer may need you to, kind of move and shake some things around just to kind of help fit your vision, right? Which brings me into my fourth thing that I tell people. Try to have a concept, right? And when I say a concept, I mean, what were you thinking about when you sing the song, when you recorded the song or the poem, right? What kind of things did you envision around you or in front of you, behind you, those things? Now, you don't have to have a concept, right? Because some videographers like myself, we do try to help artists with that vision, with that concept. But it does help for you to have something. So if you come in and be like, well, I don't know about the scenery, but I do know that I want to have on red, right? That even that little detail could help formulate a full-on vision, right? So again, while it's not necessary to have a concept, I do say try to have something. And then my last thing that I tell people, it kind of rides the back of number 4. Find the videographer that can best help you articulate that concept, right? So whatever little bitty detail that you might have, find the videographer that could help you articulate that. Most videographers don't mind you shopping around. So if you come to me and you say, hey, this is the concept, do you think you can help me? This is my budget. Do you think you can help me? Well, I probably can't help you, but I may have a few people that I know that could help you. Or, this is what I can do for you. Let me know if it works. And then you shop around and come back. Like, no harm, no foul. So those are the 5 things that I like to tell people when approaching a video.
Yes. Okay. So outside of the things you mentioned already, Is there anything else that you can contribute as a videographer outside of assisting with the vision and the concept, or maybe there's something you specialize in that other videographers don't, like maybe um you have a focus on, like one videographer may focus on more like cinematic videos and another
Yeah.
video, like what would you say, do you have um what other things uh when it comes to shopping around or really making that vision come to life, do you think artists should take into consideration when they are shopping around for videographers?
Okay. Um, so again, you don't want to just settle for any videographer, right? Because every videographer, even our mentality behind shooting a video, or our approach to shooting a video is different, right? I'll use me as an example. Anytime that I go into, or I approach a video project, I always sit with a song first. I sit with a song for at least a week, and when I sit with a song, I play it. I put it in my playlist, and I rotate it, because I want to feel what the artist felt when they wrote the song. That way that I can best articulate what was in their mind, right? Um I like to sit down with the artist and try to cultivate those same thoughts that they had when they was writing a song, because the first point of contact to an artist song is their feelings, right? You feel a song, and then you write it down, and then you record it, right? Our job as videographers is to make sure that we articulate what you was feeling, what you were feeling as when you wrote the song, or when you recorded the song. Um so so I would say look for that. If your videographer um doesn't ask you those different questions, like what were you feeling, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing if they don't ask you, but those are good things to know, especially if you want your video to reflect what you were feeling. Now, if you just want to have a nice scenery, um, nice background, different lights, whatever, that's good too, right? And there's videographers out there that just specialize in those things, where you can they won't even ask you to send them your song. They'll just shoot the video based on whatever you want, or whatever ideas they shot with you. So those are different things that you can consider. Like, do you want to tell a story? Do you want to just have something that looks nice? All of those different things play into which videographer you choose.
Okay. Yeah. So, with all that in mind, from start to finish, about how long does it take? I'm sure it depends, depending on the artist and your schedule and theirs, and shooting locations and all of that. But
Yeah.
from the time you start filming, or maybe yeah, from the time like you receive that music to the time that y'all start filming to the finished product, about how long does it take for them to go from sharing the vision to seeing the actual video?
Yeah, so that's another thing that I like to tell artists. Try to, before you release the song, even, right? Try to um plan for shooting a video at least 1 month ahead of time. 1 month. The reason why I say 1 month is because you want to make sure that you give time for y'all schedules to link up from the moment that you send a song to the time of the shoot, right? You want to give at least a week or two on that, right? Um, Depending on the vision, I believe most music videos can be done in one day. Um, Anywhere from 3 hours to 12 hours, right? And that 12 hours is the extended like you get 3 different locations and, you know, all these different scenes and all of that, storylines and acting and all of that, you know what I'm saying? I think 12 hours, um probably you could shoot a full blown music video with all of the props and all the works. So, and then from actually production to post production is the editing process, right? Now that part could vary based on the videographer's schedule, how many projects they have on their queue. But generally that process, like I asked for 2 weeks, right? And that's only because of the like I said, the projects that I may have. Giving life a chance to happen. You know, life happens, right? So we can't negate life happening. So we have to incorporate life happening, right? So I usually ask for 2 weeks from production to the finish of post production, right? I think a full blown video can be edited with revisions maximum 1 week, right? But like I said, 2 weeks, they just give you enough time for life to happen. So yeah, so about a month.
Okay. Perfect. Well, is there anything else that you want to leave artists with before we close? Just when it comes to making a vision come to life, because I know there are a lot of moving parts. Like, you're the videographer, but I'm sure like some people may have a creative team, right, where they
Yeah,
have makeup and hair, and
yeah,
there are a lot of, like, when I did my first photo shoot, I had to reschedule because my hairstylist and my makeup artist both flaked on me,
yeah,
the day
mhm,
of or the day before.
yeah,
So, when you say life happens, I feel that, because I know
yeah.
from experience just with shooting. Um, what's one thing you want them to take away when it comes to making visuals? Because I'm sure you've worked with different type of artists, and um they're all at different places when it comes to shooting, whether they're just starting out or they've been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
And it can be a really emotional process for you as the videographer, and being
yeah,
passionate about what you do, wanting to make the best product possible. And then for them too, making sure it comes out the way they see it in their mind, or as close to. So, like,
yeah,
if there's one thing you could leave us with, what would it be
yeah.
when it comes to this process?
Okay, so creating excuse me, creating videos is art, right? Art takes time, right? Don't rush the art. Even if it's financially or whatever pieces you have to put in place, don't rush it, right? Because it is art, right? You want to leave enough space in the creation of that art for it's art. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. Like, you have to let the art. So don't rush it.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. I learned a lot. I'm sure the people watching will learn a lot too.
Thank you for
What are
having me.
some ways that they can connect with you once this conference is over, to ask questions or to potentially work with you? Where can they best find you and connect with you?
Okay, so I can be found on all social media. Personally, um, at Vivid Cortez. That's at VIVIDCORTEZ. That's across the board. So, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is all at Vivid Cortez, right? And then my website is Vivid Core Media. That's if you want to send an inquiry, uh, do a consultation. Uh, you can do that at vividcoremedia.com. So that's VIVIDCOREMEDIA.com.
Okay. Thank you so much, Cortez,
Of
for
course, thank
giving
you.
us your time and your wisdom and your knowledge. And thank you to everybody who watched from beginning to end. Make sure if you haven't already, register at the link in my bio so you can check out all the other speakers in this conference. Thank you again and see you in the next segment. Bye.